Hey everyone, this is adventure filmmaker Erik Douds here in Bangalore, India, and I figured I'd start a new series called Behind the Lens, which will break down a few of my films and the actual cinematography techniques and things that went into that shot. While I'm here in lockdown, I'm editing Miles of Portraits India, but I figured we'd go back to Miles of Portraits Alaska and break down the trailer. So let's start with that.
People come up to us all the time.
Alright, let's rewind to the beginning.
People come up to us all the time.
So Annalisa and I are self-supported in everything we do. Annalisa, my cycling partner. And if you see both of us in the same shot, that means I set up this tripod and left it alone somewhere to film. Now, Alaska was so remote that I could leave this in the middle of the road and not worry too much about a car or a truck coming by and capture the shot. But yes, there's definitely also a sequence of me riding back to get the camera. So then it transitions into a drone shot of actually just Annalisa on the bridge. So after we biked back up to the bridge, I put the DJI Mavic Air up, and this was the first trip I actually had the drone, and then sent Annalisa across, and then she actually came back, I believe, to take some photographs and capture one more sequence of us riding. So I think we went back and forth on that bridge at least 5 times. Here you'll see another drone sequence, and right in the middle of this beautiful landmass, this is the Denali highway. It's absolutely gorgeous. You'll actually see the drone controller. Because I'm biking and navigating the drone at the same time, a lot of times I put it up in the air, just fixed, shooting down, and kind of just left the controller there. I'm not sure if my handlebar bag was just full or what was going on, but you'll see that in a few of these shots on the trailer. So yeah, we just rode out of frame, then rode through frame with the drone just hovering above us.
Where are you going?
So we were filming a time lapse of us packing all of our stuff onto our touring bikes. We have 60 to 80 pounds of gear, and Alaska was different because we actually had all of our food for like 5-day stretches, so our bikes could have weighed up to 100 pounds each. And we just wanted a shot of all that going into our bikes. And someone, while we were filming with the tripod up, came up and asked, "Where are you going?" And that's kind of the point of the trailer, is to address all these questions that people ask you while you are out riding. And the voiceover of this guy is Doug Strange. He is part of our trail family. So back in 2017, Annalisa and I biked across America following the Trans-America Trail, which is 4,200 miles, designed by Adventure Cycling. And Doug and Donna, they were recently retired and ended up kind of bouncing and leapfrogging each other across the country, and actually joined us on our Southwest trip as well.
How far have you gone?
This parking lot photo actually went viral across the internet. And what's interesting is that Annalisa does all the graphic design work for the team, where I do all the filmmaking. And then this one shot, it's true adventure filmmaking when you have the crows, the mosque, and the wind going at the same time. But I actually had to argue with Annalisa to put all of our stuff in this perfect grid to capture it and show how organized our stuff actually is. And for some reason she was like, no, we should break the grid. And luckily we did keep all of our stuff using the parking lot lines, because it just made a really nice, crisp image that fans and people seem to really enjoy.
When will you stop?
What do you eat?
What do you even do?
At the end of this video, I'll list all of the voiceovers, but something I try to do in all my films is include as many people in that community as possible. So we had certain people who are advocates or that we met on the trail do their voiceovers, but also the music for this is by Ben Weaver and Blind Pilot, not this trailer, but throughout the episodes. And Ben Weaver is a bike touring musician, and Blind Pilot, they're very well known in the States and actually went on a bike tour themselves, putting on musical shows. So try to weave that cycling community into the films themselves.
Why?
Since they ask us about our life stories, we began asking theirs. This is the story of the people.
So we have a sequence of Annalisa taking photographs of the people that we meet. Miles of Portraits, it's a magazine that Annalisa puts together about those stories, and then I do all the filmmaking, which came because people are asking us how we choose these people. And the whole point of the journey is that we don't choose them. They just happen to come across our path. So we saw a military group here, someone who pulled over an RV, they gave us water. I think this was a group of geologists, but you just meet all these really fascinating people. And I realized that I have to get film footage of Annalisa taking the photographs, so when we're putting the episodes together, which overall used the magazine as a visual cue, that we were able to incorporate that moment and actually narrate it and set up the whole scene for audience members to know how we actually came across these people.
Of the people you meet when riding your bike really, really far.
That high five was definitely Annalisa's idea, and it was really cool timing that with the actual text coming up. But why you see a lot of my films come out around November, that is Diabetes Awareness Month. So Annalisa and I actually both know each other because we live with type 1 diabetes roughly for the same amount of time, which is 12 years, and we're both from the New York area. So that is what unites us and connects us, but Miles of Portraits is about the people that we meet. And so overall, a lot of times we use diabetes as a lens and as a connecting point to weave all the stories together at times, if that makes sense. If you all want to watch the entire series, I think there's 4 or 5 episodes. I'll leave that in the link below. If there's any other films that you know I've created and have questions like how was that made, how is that possible, let me know in the comments below and I'll make an episode about that. And if you think it'd be interesting, I'm hoping to maybe pull in some of my friends who also do adventure filmmaking work and ask them how they created those scenes. Because overall what makes this type of filmmaking special and unique is that I'm the athlete and the filmmaker at the same time. So often if you see me in frame or see Annalisa and I in frame, that means something special had to happen to actually capture that moment. And why I got into filmmaking was because I often came home and felt I didn't have the tools to actually explain what I had experienced. So with that, leave a comment, ask your questions. I'll try to answer as many as I can. And remember that you can go anywhere and do anything. Thanks everyone.